That is how urgent it is to seek God. The urgency, people, no one is seeking God. We are all jokers. That is the urgency. Before you breathe in, seek first. Before you, this your eyelids, before they close and it closes, seek first. Before it, everything, people, everything. As you are talking, between each sentence, there are gaps in the word. Let me tell you one thing. Between each letter of the word, there is a gap. Between you construct that word to make a sentence. Before, seek ye first. Because that which is within that is that pure intent, is the Christ within. People, no one is seeking God. Why are we not seeking God? It's because humanity is the most, I don't know how to define it, because the truths are just in our plain sight. God is revealing things to us. God wants us to be in Him and Him in us. It's all about oneness. That soup, if you are given, it has the taste of the onions. If you are given a soup which has chili, onions and everything, spices, all the spices. If I give you the soup and I tell you this is the soup, can you separate these things? You can't. They are in the soup. That is what God is. Just being in the participation of that, just knowing that the whole thing is just a process. It's just a process. People, all this we are experiencing, people, if you want to enjoy this life, if you want your life to turn around today, people, life is a joke, it's a play. Life, take everything as a play. Just take it as an actor. Act the best of your passion. Be an actor in your life. Listen to me. Be an actor and feel being that. Act to be that and be that. See how your life changes. It's a game. It's a game. Nothing else, people. Oh my God. It's a game. You're getting confused because you are stuck in physicality, getting overwhelmed by the things you are already in tune with. People, all the crazy situation outside, all the good situations outside, everything, everyone is in tune to their experience. Everyone is in tune to their experience. People, I repeat for the third time, everyone is in tune with their experience of the reality, because the reality is just but the state of your vibration. Everyone is experiencing who they are. People, enjoy this game. Be actors and act the best you want to act. People, we are not here oh my God, we are not here to even experience anything. We are here to have fun, but we are getting overwhelmed by the fun. Sheilah, say something. I think I spoke. Spoke.
Today you spoke. So, you've said things that you've busted our heads. You've said telepathy, astral projection, all those things are not necessary.
Sheilah, we are above that.
They are worldly. They are carnal things. They are of a lower dimension. Yet, in the times that we're in, for you to really be able to tap into the essence of who you are in the spirit, as a spirit being, it is important for you to be able to walk in those paths, or to be able to experience that level of existence, for you to be able to really manifest what it is that you're saying. Say, for example, what we were discussing about the Makaba. Hello.
Bishop, mute.
Yeah, Saleem, I'm online with you guys. Let me unmute.
Okay.
So when we are talking about the Makaba, we're saying it's a vehicle of light. It's at the point where divinity meets humanity, where the spirit. Dr. Sheilah, the Makaba.
Yes, go on, Bishop. Go on. Go on, Bishop.
So, sorry. Go ahead. So it's like a vehicle of light where it takes you to another. Bishop talked about it being a portal where it opens and you experience the divinity. And we said that when I say vehicle of light, I'm not saying it literally. I'm just using it metaphorically to be able to say that it is a medium in which we are able to experience another level of divinity that is under normal circumstances unaccessible or inaccessible. So when you talk about that point where these two opposite aspects, or the physical meets the spiritual, when you're talking about
Tetrahedron.
that thing that you're talking about. So the two pyramids. So I think part of being in that state is really having to experience when your inner being or your spirit being is able to surmount or to really maximize or supersede your physical or your carnal abilities. And that is part of the state of walking in the divine, where wherever it is that is your the physical entity that is you, or that which is restricts you in the physical aspect, gets to be overcome or overshadowed, and your spirit being is now manifesting or operating fully. That is when people will see the way we have been. We now become very clear on when you talk about Philip being told to go and attach himself to the chariot to go and speak to the eunuch. When you talk about Elijah and the chariot and being taken up to heaven, when you're talking about even that portal where you're saying that to go into the next life, we'll need to be able to have the Makaba experience. So some of those things, I know like there's some people that are already experiencing it now. Let me validate that. There's a friend of mine who was saying how this guy was telling them that he needed to go to America. And when he needed to go to America, he actually told God, I don't have money. I think it was to the UK or to America. He said that he didn't have money. And he was like, look, how do you want me to go? I don't even have money. Not the way you've been told, go here. And then you're trying to justify why you shouldn't. And then he just went, and he was told, okay, go. Enter here, and he entered into a public restroom, and by the time he was coming out, he had already been taken to this other realm, to this other country from to the UK. I think it was either the UK or the US. He had already reached, and he was already going for this interview, for this convention or conference that he was going to. So as much as I would like to appreciate what it is that you're saying in terms of saying that there are lower levels, but in in the times that we're in and where it is that we're going in terms of unleashing our consciousness, these are things that are supposed to be your everyday thing, that the angels would be able to appear, and I'm not saying that they are like us, but you can imagine that Philip, the Paul experienced the angel here. That's a spirit being manifesting in the physical. So I'll just like to clarify that what you're saying, or anybody else who can comment based on where you are coming from when you're saying that these are, it's something that is lower, this is something that is low vibrational. I would appreciate that.
By the way, Sheilah, in my travels, I usually imagine those angels as being in the physical manifestation. It would be somebody who understands you spiritually, somebody who tells you the right words at the right time, every single time, and when you meet, when you talk, it's a vibe. That's an angel. That's somebody who walks with you in the astral realms.
I agree.
So
they can manifest themselves. They can manifest themselves physically. I've had an encounter. Let me tell you, I was in Nairobi once. I had this good bad habit of timing out myself. I would be like, I was living in Kile and Kileleshwa, and I would time myself out if I'm coming from Buruburu, where my relatives were. I would time myself in terms of saying how many minutes would it take me to get home, and every other time I would always want to beat my record. So in this particular time I was driving, and I hit Jogo Road, come in, do bomb blast, come up, pass Hilton, pass Jivanji, pass coming to the university, do St. Paul's. So as I'm coming to Jivanji, I was like really driving at a high speed. Now, as I'm driving at a high speed, as I'm coming to the building, I think that's not that side where University of Nairobi is on our right. As I go to step on the brake, there was no brake in the car. I stepped on it again. I was trying to stop the car. I couldn't. Now I realized, oh my God, shit, I'm done. So I let go of the steering wheel. I saw a car coming in from Westlands, and I knew, by the way, I'm gonna get hit. Remember, I had let go of the steering, but then the steering wheel, I couldn't drive. I cannot say I was steering it. I was not, because I tried everything to bring that car under control, but it didn't. So the car swerves and I avoid getting hit by the car from Westlands. And then as the car is navigating again round the roundabout to now come and pass and come into the hostels of Nairobi Secondary. The university. There's another car that's coming in from my left by very high speed, coming in from Nyowe, and I pass. And as I'm passing, the car goes gliding. It's like, I don't know how to explain this, but it was surreal, because it felt like this car was floating. Now it comes, and then at some point at Arboretum, there in the middle, the car stalls. As the car is stalling, I'm like, okay, shoot, this car. I didn't understand what was going on, but out of nowhere, a car appears, and she comes and she says, "You're stuck?" I said, "Yes," and then he says, "Where are you going?" I said, "Kangundo Road." So he says, "Okay, let me go ahead of you. What's wrong with the car?" I said, "I don't know, it can't start." The lights have gone off, my brakes have failed. And then he says, "Okay, let me go ahead of you until we get to Kangundo Road." So he goes ahead of me. He drives me, he goes ahead of me. I was just having hazard on. So I get into the compound. Then he just hoots pop up, and then he turns around, and then he goes. So I drive into the carport. I park my car. I'm like, oh my God, what exactly is that happened? As I'm sitting there and relaxing, I see a vision. I don't know whether I can say it's a vision or whatever, but I saw this entity. I saw this very, like the way when you're going to do the driving on the board, when you're going to do your test at the driving school, when you're on the board. I saw this entity hold my car. And this entity, just the same way we do it on that board, I saw this entity that was so big, by the way. So it was like the way me and you are holding this thing. I saw this entity come, hold my car, and then swerve it, and just do zoop, zoop, and helped me to evade a head-on collision from both sides of that. Fast forward the next day, so I was really shook. By the way, I was really, really shook. I got into, of course, prepped myself, got into bed, slept. The next morning, called the mechanic to come. And as he's checking the car, he asked me a question. When was the car spoiled? I said, last night. He said, no, it's not possible. I said, what do you mean it's not possible? He said, this car has not moved. I said, no, I went with it. I came out from here. I went. He said, it's not possible. This car would not have moved, because now he ended up telling me, he said, look, the way it has failed, I don't know what. There's no way this car would have moved. Well, I moved to the car. I went. I came back. Yes, at some point it failed, and then this guy followed me. I mean, the brakes failing, and then me get to home, and then that escort and everything. And I remember very distinctly the vision that I saw that time of the angel, if I can use that word, or that divine being holding my car like the way you do it on that board, and just swapping me in and out and weaving me, and then now the other car that comes through for me. And this guy, by the way, just does pip pip, and then he turns around and then he goes. I have never seen a guy. I've never known the guy. Even if you ask me today, Sheilah, how did the car look like? I'd be lying. So I know that yes, we have people that can come to us in that form. I know that we have angelic beings or divine entities that walk amongst us in the form of people that can give us supernatural encounters. And I know also that yes, in the spiritual realm, like the way in that particular incident, as much as I did not see it on the physical, the vision that I saw of what happened until today has always stayed in my mind or in my heart. So even when we are talking about, even as you're talking about angels, all that, I appreciate, because then and the beauty about this journey, like I was saying the other day, is that all of us have gone through experiences. We have encountered that which is supernatural. I mean, if we start talking, all of us have had an experience or other that is not normal. That is not normal. I think also for us to be able to get to that place of saying that really these things, the way we are talking about this God that is divine and is so diverse and is so rich in the fullness of the splendor and the majesty of what this entity is. The same way we are seeing that the whole of creation is a description or a manifestation of what God is and who God is. Then there are bound to be some encounters, or we are bound to experience some things that will not be normal. And we also cannot ignore, or we also can't pretend like those experiences substances don't exist. So the point for me, I think what I would have loved to have carried out of this conversation tonight is for me to get to the level of activating myself, to get to the realms of living that life that under normal circumstances I am not able to do. That for me to dwell in a level of consciousness whereby, like the way Saleem was saying, you can do. I mean, there are times, and I appreciate what Bishop was saying. There come a time when those things will be necessary. I mean, if at all we are getting to the level where, like now, let's talk about if we're getting into a global recession. I'm just giving an example. I'm not creating it. I'm not setting it out there, but I'm saying if in the event that those people, because then it's only during trying times that also the manifestation of who you are and what you are able to do and what you are able to, the solutions that you're able to accomplish is at the point of us guys getting to the level where some of these things are just conscious. It's just normal for us. The sorcerers are doing it, the enchanters are doing it, the black magicians are doing it. If it is something that is our heritage, then for you to be at the place where, Saleem, if you have to come out from here and go to London and speak and share, all you need to do is to go into your room and sit and you project and you go and you do. Because then again, we begin to defy some of the things that are normal in the physical realm of having to get into a flight, to get into a plane, go through all those things, do this, do that. Because there are people who are doing it. So for me, out of this conversation of tonight, that is something I would have loved to have heard. And even when Bishop talked about, tell us how, even when it comes to meditations, how do we go within? How do we get to that place where you draw yourself into yourself? Because as you draw yourself into yourself, that is when you find yourself. And the more you find yourself, the more you seek yourself. And the more you seek yourself, you realize the more you encounter yourself. And it just keeps on going on and on and on. Because then we have to live in that level of consciousness. I've spoken many words, but that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, thank you, Sheilah. It's Pastor Bishop, you wanted to speak, eh? Speak.
Yeah, I would like to say something. I hope my audio is clear.
Yeah.
Sheilah, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Sheilah. Okay, please, there's something I need to tell you. Please, there's nothing wrong. You don't feel bad referring to those experiences.
You are, there's some static noise behind you, eh? There is static noise. Bishop, there is a static noise behind you. Bishop.
Okay, is it clearer now?
Yeah, it's very clear. I'll start again now, answering her.
I wouldn't want us to get lost in the issue of semantics. Yeah. Okay. So, because we must understand that even though we're joining into this new dimension and this new order of things, we must understand that we all have our own frame of reference and frame of language. And at times, you will not be able to communicate certain lights without resorting back to your frame of reference and language. You understand? And we should be very okay with it. So I'm not saying that like be very okay with it because it was like you were trying to apologize for using the word angel. It's a normal thing to use. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong not using that word angel. Then there's something you said. You see, I 100% believe in that experience you had. Angels are beings of light and they can manifest in physical being. Why? Because quantum physicists have even told us that our body is a wave of light that was collapsed through consciousness. Even the stones you see are all wave of light. Your body is literally a wave of light. Your blood is a wave of light.
pure light. Your body is pure light. It's a wave of light that is collapsed through consciousness. Do you understand? So what I'm saying is that, and if those angels are being of light, spirits are being of light, they are waves of light that can be collapsed into any form. They can appear as a cat, they can appear as a puppy, as a dog, as a lion, and they can appear in human form. So it's a collapse of light. Even our body is pure light. That is at its quality, your body, everything, both your bone, everything is light. It's a wave of light. So angels can appear in any form and any format. It's a wave of light. And even we as human beings, I heard of St. Patrick, who has the ability, who can actually turn to a particular wild animal. So even we, our body, we can become shapeshifters. We can shift shapes. There's a level at which we reach in this journey that we can literally begin to be able to shift our shape. If we can disappear, then why can't we shift? Shape shifting is normal. Even Jesus was shifting shape after he resurrected. Because if you notice, he was appearing to his disciples and they could not recognize him. The shape was shifted and it was changed. They touched his body, it was a solid body, flesh and bone, yet he was able to walk through us. They never recognized him until when he broke the bed. When they recognize him, he will allow his face to show, they will recognize him and he will change his face. I want us to understand that we must come to a point whereby we must remove limitation. There is no limit to this thing we are talking about. In short, the word limitation must be deleted from our consciousness permanently, because there are things we're going to see that will have no historical precedence and reference. It has no biblical reference. It has no reference in any book, because spirit, the literal context of spirit is what? Unlimited, infinite, infinite. For something that is infinite, we must also be willing to have what? Experiences that have no finite definition or finite reference. So we must remove those limitations from our mind. There is no limit to what we experience. Some of those experiences, let me be honest with you, they will have no explanations. We can't even explain them. We can only experience them and share them, but we cannot explain them. Let's understand that we are journeying into mystery. It's a journey into mystery, and there is no end to this journey. It's an infinite journey. We'll keep journeying from eternity to eternity, and we'll be journeying into this mystery. God is a mysterium tremendum, a tremendous mystery. Do you understand? So let's know that there is no backdrop. Just the most important thing, just like Dr. Sheilah, you said, and also Saleem, you said something. Let's come to a point whereby we master the art of accessing those things so much that we can trigger it at will. I watched a film called Heroes, and I think every one of us should to watch that film. Heroes it comes close to depicting heroes of 4400 and also tomorrow's people. It's a film about awakening, and I know those movies are hidden coded messages, because they were not just ordinary movies. They were messages, they were coded. They were also a way to trigger awakening in people, because people watch those things, they begin to trigger something in them, isn't it? If you watch these movies, you see people manifest different dimensions, and whether we like it or not, the time is going to come, whether we're conscious of it or not, it's going to generate persecution, because people who are not tapping into these things will begin to see you as aliens invading their dimension, and you come to places whereby government will actually begin to hunt us down literally. So let's be conscious of these things. These things we're temporary. It's bigger than what we're even talking about here. These things will literally cause global shakings. Because, okay, look at the Macabre you're talking about. Okay, imagine if you begin to activate those dimensions. Those things will begin to alter the current world order. It will alter economics. Because if, for example, now you need money and you are able to tamper with networks, you are already becoming a pariah. Because there are people who will literally see us as aliens and will come for us. So it will become what a battle becomes between those who are asleep and those who are awakened. All these things we watch in movies, they don't even come close to depicting reality. The reality we're talking about is more real than even the most wildest movie or sci-fi movie or the most wildest movie like The Matrix. These things are wild. They are more wilder than these things. More wilder than these things.
There's something I read in the Bible. It says, this infinite life we have is a life of endless, glorious adventure. That every day we wake up, we'll just be like, Abba, what next? What next you have to show us? There's something that somebody depicts so perfectly. It says, well, the reason why the cherubims that go around the throne always declare holy, holy, holy from eternity, and they don't get tired of declaring holy. It's like when they lift up their face and they look into the infinite spirit that we call Abba, they will see a dimension in God they've never seen before, and they will exclaim and scream out of shock, holy. When they fall down, and as they're trying to recover from that shock, they lift up their face, they see a dimension again they've never seen, and they've been seeing dimensions and dimensions and dimensions in God they've never seen. So there are dimensions we're going to go into that we've never excavated. There are dimensions in ourselves that we've never excavated. And you see, as men begin to awaken to the fact that human beings are not beings with 2 hands and 2 legs. They are creatures that have been concealed in the flesh. You should know that the old order that has hidden this knowledge and has seen it as what their duty to keep it hidden will come to fight those who are trying to reveal it. So let's know that this thing is going to generate complete. It will actually come to a point of life and death. And I know this very well. Thank you. So that's just my contribution. Thank you, Dr. Sheilah. I think Saleem, you can take over.
Yes.
Can I speak?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, speak.
So the takeaway is that I think I've been with Saleem in a group where we talked about our infiniteness. And I've basically been holding that thought and just being and letting things be. So it is an honor to be breathing the same air, to be able to talk. Yeah, so I'm very grateful.
Yep. Thank you very much. So Sheilah was you was asking about this thing called Makaba. Let me tell you one story. You know, sometimes I like talking through experiences, Sheilah, because I don't want to define things which I've read somewhere. I want to describe the experiences, and as much as people don't believe, for me, I'm the one experiencing it. I don't need anyone's belief. And so this journey, Sheilah, this thing called the Makaba, I'll tell you one thing. If there is any data I inquired about the Makaba, it is today. Number 1. Number 2, this thing called the Makaba, I have by myself activated it, and I can activate it anytime. And I have you remember last time when I was with Kamau, and I was telling him I was explaining to him about the experience which he can have, and I told him just to be still in a place. Then we did I was just explaining to him, not knowing that he was in a still position. So when I was explaining, he was doing the exact thing. Then I just told him because when I was explaining, I was also like myself also explaining to him while creating that energy body, feeling it completely in my body. So as I was explaining, I was feeling it the same way I was explaining. And I told him just some bright light entering through the top of your head from infinite, and some other love energy coming down from Mother Earth and mix them together in the heart center, and just feel it, and it will expand, and you'll feel it expanding wider and wider. And the same second, I heard Kamau shouting from the other side. because I heard him shouting, "Wow, wow, wow." Then I asked him, "What is happening? What is wrong? Or what is happening there?" And he said, "Wow, I have never experienced this." And he did it for the first time. And for me, the activation of the Makaba, yes, it is having procedures and this, but for me, I don't know, maybe it's my many curiosity practices. I don't know, maybe that's why I could be able even to activate somebody else's Makaba without knowing. Let me tell you one thing. I knew yesterday when it was like a message, a trigger. This was like the message was mine about Makaba. Because yesterday when Bishop talked about the Makaba is when it was like the veil was being opened. And I was just wondering this Makaba, and I got the information how it works, and all what I have been doing is exactly that. And I even didn't know that I was using the same thing in healing people. And I didn't know, and I even after even the meeting yesterday today is when I knew this. There is something I always do when I'm doing healing for someone. I will, and yesterday even I did it. I will say like I spin you right now. I spin you. I'm speaking that. I'm speaking that, but I'm visioning from within me. Like I'm spinning you. Like I am spinning you to the frequency your light body. I spin you, I raise your frequencies, because I know the higher the frequencies, all things of lower frequencies drops. And that is how the revelation got to me today. That the thing which you are always doing when healing people, you are spinning you are, who's that? Mute.
Yes, Bishop. Sorry. I just needed to say something to what you said now, so it doesn't escape my head. You just mentioned something that was very powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. I'm getting. Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Now, sir, you see, like this Markaba, it will surprise you that Dr. Sheilah, all of us here have experienced it, but we didn't know it was a Markaba. That was not the name we were using for it. Now, have you wondered why everything in the universe, the galaxies, are all moving in a circular motion? It's as if it's spinning. They are spinning in a cycle motion. Everything is in a cycle. Even the atoms in your body, the cells in your body, even your DNA, they are all in a circular motion. The Bible calls it the wild wind of the Lord. Many times we pray, and while you're praying, you have a vision, the revelation. You start feeling as if there's a breeze moving around you. That breeze moving around you is a Markaba. You can activate it to such a level that it will become a vehicle of ascension into higher levels of glory. It's something that is activated from within man. It's actually like a wild wind. So just like Apostle Saleem was saying now, it's a consciousness. It's something that all of us have been experiencing it. You understand? But it's like we didn't actually know what was the name or how to really activate it. So I just needed to say that, because what you just said now triggered something in me, Dr. Saleem. Thank you very much. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, brother Bishop. So for me, it was not something new. It was just a reminder that all of the things, when the higher you spin the Markaba, the more light becomes. All darkness vacates. So I was just getting a reminder that this is what you have been doing all along, and it has been your own practice which you created by yourself. It's something which just popped up from my mind. Let me be doing this, and this is what it is. Actually, one day there is this lady who was experiencing the realities of having some spiritual husbands at night, and she could see even the being coming, having sex with her. So that day I was, because even that negative entity which was in her, it was of the highest density, because those beings of highest densities are those beings which, when you go with your lowest density, maybe you go with your vibration even of 4th density and it is of 50th density, nothing, you cannot affect which is above your density. So that day I was just holding her hands, this lady, and nothing was happening, and there was something in me which, it was just like a voice within me, like, release her hand and just look at her, now spin her. And I was just looking at her, but I was spinning her. I didn't know how I was spinning her, and I was just from within, I'm spinning you. And I was spinning her with my breaths in, out. The more I'm going deeper, the more she was spinning, and the more she was screaming. The more I spinned her, the more she was screaming. This is the first time an entity was experienced there in the physicality. The whole room smelled of perfume, like a bottle full of perfume has been broken. And it vacated. And then I have been curious about it, but I've not taken it like a real interest, something which has, because there are some people who have been telling me about the marker, but I've never given it attention. Not knowing that I have been doing that, I have done that to myself. Even 5 minutes ago when we started talking about this, I was doing it and I was feeling it. It's just now to move with it and spin it further to be more and more and more of light. Then I start floating, being a world record breaker for floating in air. Because let me tell you one thing, moving from one place to another, I have done with the Markaba, and I have not done with anyone else. I have done it with the person. Is he online? Still online? Where is he? Yeah, he's here. My brother here, Gikonyo. I have done that, and I appeared to him in an energetical body, and he saw me. I did that.
It was a very godly experience, I would say, contrary to what would come out of my mouth, but it was just a godly experience.
Yeah, so I did that not knowing that I was. Yep.
Can I confess something?
Yes.
In my meditations, sometimes I ask, who can be strong for those who are actually supposed to be strong? And I was like, I want to see them. Come on, I mean, universe, can you just leave me in the dark? Yeah, and then Kidogo teaches me a lot of things about sex, about intimacy, about spirituality, about medicine, everything. I was blessed to be in her presence. Then suddenly came Saleem, a whole confusion there, a whole chaos. But as they say, there's everything, all the chaos. So anyway, that Makaba thing, I would like to understand more of those experiences.
Actually, to understand this, it's not something, it is, let me tell you one thing which many people do not understand. People, Spirit of God is simplicity. People, you don't need procedures. You don't need, Sheilah, you don't need procedures to be who you are. Just no procedures. This is not religion, Maze. To experience God, remove all things of physicality. Procedures are things of this earth. How to and how not to are things of this physicality. Just know, Sheilah, just know, all of my experiences I have had is just knowing. And I just left faith behind. I told people, from now I don't care. I will not care, and I don't care wherever, any moment, anytime. I don't care. I tell people this 100% sure, with surety of 100 and even 1,000%. I am certainly sure, and I know any moment, anywhere, when I call upon God, it shall be there. No second option, and I don't care there, because I don't give any other option. That's why when I go to healing, some people I will tell them, they will just be having some doubts, and I will put it clearly to them. Listen. Don't even worry. You just need to sit. This one does not need your belief. Let me tell you. Judge me. Think what you have to think. But this is what I tell you. Wherever I call upon God, He will always, and He must always show up. So, sit, bring your hands, receive your healings, and they will get healed. Everything is just the knowing. And it is not that it's because God can use me to be a vessel, to be this or to be that. Let me tell you one thing. When you walk, when that moment I want to heal a person, they are in unbelief. It's not all about calling God to come for backup or this and that. Me, I know God is wholeness. No matter what they see in me, what I claim from them is wholeness. They're working with unbelief. For me, I don't care. I know you are whole, and I see you whole. Give me your hands, and I claim that, and it becomes that. People, whatever you claim, you possess. People, demons are possessing you because they claim you. You can never possess anything without claiming it. And claiming is through the knowing only, not by faith. Faith is outdated. That knowing. That, yes, you are with your unbelief. You are judging me. You are separating me from me. But I claim you. I claim that wholeness. I claim the love out of you. And I claim the divine. And I see you as whole. I claim that. And you have possessed them by power vested unto you. You have possessed them. Whatever is in them vacates, because the I in you has taken precedence and has claimed that as itself, and it sees itself as whole. Then everything vacates. No dramas. It all takes the knowing, no words. Words are just things of the physical because we can hear them. Knowing, only the knowing. You just know that I'm told there is a Merkaba. It's just just knowing that you are connecting to the universe from the top and you are connected to the Mother Earth, just and mixing everything together and just feeling. Let me tell you one thing. Markaba, even whatever they are describing is too complicated. State, be in one state of oneness. Just be. People, Markaba is just be and know. People, Markaba is just being and know, because in that state of being, all the chaos, all the turmoils, all the light, all the darkness is one in balance. Be still and know. People, this Bible verse which says be still and just know summarizes all. People, you don't need to have anything, just be still. Just be one with the all. You just let yourself go. Be state of being. To be is to become in the state of being. The universe became to being. Being. Just know. It doesn't take anything, Sheilah. These things, mine was a hard journey, a long journey, because it was meant to be. It was meant to be. But
Can I
this,
say something,
yeah.
I think what you're trying to describe, the first time I had that experience, I asked whether my kids and wife are going to be okay back on Earth. And the guy seated next to me told me, oh yeah, they're fine. And then I was like, wow, I can be this far away from Earth and like come back anytime. So anyway, just continue. Cheka tu hapa peke yangu.
Yo, so it's just the state of being. Spirit of God is simplicity. People, these stupid things, the simple things, the stupidest thing of just being nothing. Just take time to be nothing. State of nothingness. Just people. I don't know how to tell you this. I don't know how to tell people. There is nothing. There is nothing. Completely nothing. The simplest thing. Drop somewhere, lie down, sit, relax, just be nothing. Attached to nothing. Be in the state of nothingness. You are already, if you're in that state, you yourself, you'll feel like you're spinning yourself, your physical body round. It's because you are bringing the light and darkness together, and you are spinning them, and you are generating light. It does not need dramas. We humans, because we think God is a big giant thing, complicated, this and that, then anything complicated has got to have some user's manual. So because this God is a very big thing, you guys, I'll give you a Bible of 5,000 pages and a Quran of 3,000 pages, a manual, because of our physical perception. But if we will just remove the things of physicality in our eyes, we will experience God. Let me tell you one thing. If we were still in our early stone age, at this moment, in these energies, we could, all of us will be fully connected. Maybe we were the primates, Homo habilis, but we could be fully connected. Fully connected. State of being. Those are in the state of being. Let me tell you one thing. The reason why animals can see other realms. Reasons why animals are perceiving, they can perceive telepathic signals. Reason why every animal is reading your mind, people. All animals around you, they are reading all your thoughts. The reason why they have this extraordinary perceptions is that they are in stillness. Take no thoughts of what you are going to eat tomorrow. What animals do not think about that. Where they will sleep, they never think about nothing. They are just in the state of nothingness, only participating in whatever is in their present reality, the present moment. State of being present. You are not told to stop, not to stop. No one told you to stop working, to stop even driving, to stop even, but being present in that particular activity, being present in that job you are doing, being present to that activity you are doing, being present, because the Spirit of God is yesterday and tomorrow, but it is now in the present moment all the time. The Spirit of God is in the present moment. And yes, it is in the future. It knows what is coming there. Yes, it is in the past. It remembers all. But it does not vacate the present moment in awareness, state of awareness. People, those are the simplest things which we do not know, not endeavored to know, not even walking with that knowing that, hey, there is much more to whatever I've been taught. There is much more, and I need this more. It just needs that, because whatever you will be triggering is that intent. You are triggering that word. You are triggering that. You are triggering that foundation of creation. That intent, that just having that intent, I want to experience the supernatural out of everything natural. And it becomes that, because you have triggered intent, you have started building that foundation, and it is starting to, and you are always pushing it, pushing it. You don't care, you are pushing every day. You know there's more to this. I'm pushing, I'm rising, and you are always proclaiming the presence, the I present. I am here, I am present in everything. And you are never identified by this or by that. When you are never identified by this or by that, or by that, is that when you have quenched the darkness and the light. Those two pyramids, the sacred geometry, it does not need your imagination. It is the state of being. People, the sacred geometry of Merkaba is but the state of beingness. I'm telling you for the third time, people, sacred geometry doesn't need any calculation, any patterns. It is the state of being. Be still, just in the state of the all-knowing. ever expanding, ever knowing, meaning that the knowledge is expanding. And if it is ever knowing, then it means every day it is learning through the experiences within itself, and it is expanding out of. And the more it's expanding, it becomes the ever knowing to the infinite. Just know. Period. Doesn't need any yoga. It doesn't need any positions, any scriptures, any messiahs, any dogma, anyone to teach you. Just be your real self. Be you. You don't need even to go to any school. You need to have been born in a forest and lived there in all of your lives. Just know. Period. 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 Is the state of being. People, consciousness is but the state of mind. If you can tame your mind, you are already in the kingdom. Because if you can tame that mind so that you can be able to control it on what to think, how to think, then you are already in the kingdom. You are no longer serving two mammons at the same time. You have become whole. You have become one. Just the knowing. This is what the Markaba is. Many people are just going around and around. People are going around and around. The spiritual teachers complicating things around and around, giving the people procedures and anything that you can perceive, that you can learn, anything that you perceive from outward people, they are all things of physicality, material form, people. If someone shows you a sacred geometry, it is all outside of you. It is things of the physical that makes us blind. People, all what you see outside people showing you, it is right inside, just with you, right there. Everything. That sacred geometry, that Markaba, that astral projection, you have all the capabilities you have never known. You have all the knowledge you have ever known to infinite. People, it is not outside anywhere. It is not outside anywhere. Your skin. Anything outside of your skin does not exist. You are compressing energies to form that. People, you are creators. You are creating each and every moment. That shirt, let me tell you, that is how powerful you are. You are just holding those energies, compressing them, and you are holding those energies as a shirt every day, so that you can feel that energies. It's not a shirt. You are seeing it as a shirt, but your hands are experiencing different energies, signals from that. Your eyes are experiencing different signals. Then those signals, they go there and you compress them, and out of that you take those signals outside, you bring them together in your creation form, and then you solidify that, becomes that, and make it that, let it stay that. And you know that this shirt, after some time, it will fade out, it will be worn out, and it becomes that. They do not fade out because they are meant to be. It's because We are the ones doing that. Nothing is aging because it is. Our clothes, our cars, our everything. They are not aging because they are aging. It is out of our creation, our consciousness. That is how powerful we are. People, just hold your two hands, your two ears with your two hands. Ye are gods. Stop joking around. And stop dramas. And stop complicating things. Stop complicating things. Everything is God. You can experience God everywhere. Everything is God. That moment you walk with that, knowing that there is no separation between you and everything. You are all one because everything is God. When you walk with that knowing, even that breath which you that time when you breathe in, because you walk with that knowing, immediately you breathe in. Let me tell you, you experience God. And because to you everything is God, that gap between breathing in and breathing out, that gap, that empty space by itself is God. Out of that you experience God. When you breathe out that carbon dioxide, because you walk with the knowing that you are not separate or not separated. You are oneness, you are whole. You are an expression. You are the manifestation of God. You are everything. That breath, when you breathe out, you experience God. No dramas, no nothing. Only the knowing. The knowing. That all is the one, and the one is the all, and that there's no separation. Every other thing is you, is yourself. Every other thing is yourself. When you walk with this knowing, every other thing is yourself. In every other thing within God, no matter how fast God is expanding, no matter how fast the universe is expanding, you walk with the knowing. Every other minute, the universe is expanding gradually after every second. People, that every second you have to renew. You are knowing every other second that I am one with the all. At that particular moment, being in the present moment, getting stuck with that particular moment is that moment where you are stuck with that infinite. And that's expanding and you are stuck with it. You are just in that state of expansion, stillness. Only that. Just knowing that I am just in stillness, knowing that. Just know. Like no disconnection, no everything. And you experience that. You experience that. And you become that. Because when you are in that state of knowing, when you are in that present moment where the universe is expanding, because the universe is not expanding in the future, people. The universe is expanding while in the present moment. The future is all about what we are creating now. The future is being created now. The past is what we are experiencing in the now. Everything is in the now moment. When you are in that moment, you are in the state of gradual expansion, infinite gradual expansion. One with the all. And you won't need any doctrines. You won't need any form of guidance. You don't need any Messiah. You don't need a prophet. You don't need a religion. You don't need a spiritual WhatsApp group. You don't need nothing, because you are in the state of completeness. And you get connected to that frequency. Then you experience that. You're already there. Let me tell you one thing. You walk with that knowing. Immediately you walk with that knowing. This is what knowing is. We are told we forgot. It's like we are supposed to be in the journey of remembering. Immediately you walk with that knowing that, hey, I am not anything. I am that. When you walk with that knowing, that yes, I am in this physical realm, but no. In the present moment, I am one with that, and I am that. There, constant with it, expanding to infinite. I am that. Do you know what comes next when you, with pure intent, you do this? This is what you have done. You have, because you forgot, now you knew something. What comes next is you have realized, like, wow, this is what or who I am. You have realized that you can never become what you haven't realized. People, you can never become what it has not come to your realization. Realization is remembering, is becoming one with the Father. This is the kingdom. That is what the kingdom of God is. Forget about all other bullshit. People, I'm telling you. Forget all procedures and seek the God within you. To be in the state of oneness in the present moment with that and experience that presence. People, when I hear the people saying the presence of God is here, let me tell you one thing. The presence means the present. You can never experience the presence of God when you are not in the present moment. The presence of God only appears in the present moment. That's why it is called the presence of God. The present moment. Let me tell you one thing. We could be having some bodies, some other planets in the solar system, other bodies in the galaxy. Let me tell you, it is the whole universe, the galaxies, they are moving in a perfect physics. Do you know what? Do you know what? In silence. in silence. That is the state of stillness. Silence. Silence is caught and be still. Perfect physics. There are many planets moving around one another, the solar systems and the galaxies and everything, but we have never heard of I am the sun and I'm coming out this morning. It is the most powerful body in our solar system, but it comes in stillness. Not unless you feel the energies of it, but if it will just hide its energy and just shine the light, you will continue sleeping. But it will be in stillness. Stillness has got no separations. That's why plants dwell together in a forest without boundaries. You are Kasurina. I am this species of trees. I am that. They dwell together. Others climb on top of one another. Others grow on top of one another in unity, resonance, oneness, no separation. The reason why plants are foods for our physical bodies, why plants are herbs to heal us, is because they are in tune, in stillness, one with the whole, oneness. They are not in the primitive stage like humanity. Let me tell you, plants and animals are not primitive. No one can cure a plant. You are just killing them with your pesticides. No one can cure an animal. Stop pretending you are calling your veterinary doctors to come and do this. They are finishing your dogs. People, tell them to go and cure the animals who have been living in the wild since time immemorial. People, they are in nature, in tune. They are true nature, natural simplicity. That is what the Spirit of God is. That is what the Christ of God is. Simple simplicity, in stillness, in the state of nothingness. Just be and know. Period. They say Jesus was. They say that they are saying that it is. This is a cult. This is a cult. This is cultism, and that is cultism. Let me tell you, that is what Jesus taught. Cult is secret or hidden knowledge, and this is what Jesus said to his disciples. You guys don't worry, because to them it shall be given in parables. Though they have eyes, they don't see. Though they have ears, they don't hear, because they are stuck in physicality. They are stuck in the physical eyes. Jesus was teaching hidden and secret knowledge. That is what cult is. All what you have been taught as demonic is what is angelic. All what you have been told as angelic, praising, worshipping, bowing, and this, that is what demonic is. If you have ears, hear. I stop there. Somebody to speak.
Saleem,
Yes.
the last one, you said something about angels. Unaweza repeat, and then demonic
You say I talked about
Angels are what are angels?
Let me tell you the truth about what angels are. And don't be surprised.
Okay.
This is what angels are. Yourself. You are an angel. Yourself. You are an angel. Let me tell you one thing. People, I'm telling you one thing, Stop getting distracted with physicality. People, whatever you are experiencing outside of you, it is a hologram. You are pressing and compressing energies. People, get out of the physicality. Listen to me. This is what happens. Everything which you are experiencing in your reality, you are creating it yourself. You are projecting it to this hologram, to this experience. Those angels you are creating, people, yes, they exist and they can appear in physical and you will experience them in physical. And they can do things in reality, everything. But the secret...
Then you have answered me,
Yeah?
You have answered me right at the core, because if we can perceive it, if I have ever perceived an angel, then an angel appeared.
Exactly.
Like the way I'm telling you,
Everyone, I'm telling you, let me tell you one thing. Do you know when Sheilah,
most low-key angels I have ever seen.
when Sheilah was saying that she experienced an angel, let me tell you one thing. It is true. She experienced an angel in her reality, because wherever she is right now, the greatest truth, either you take it or not, wherever Sheilah is right now, we do not exist to her. In her reality of the physical reality, we do not exist. People, this is the truth of the core of the matter. This is what reality is. Anything which is not in your present, anything which is not in your present reality at any present moment does not exist. People, it is not there. You are just perceiving it energetically. Don't know if you are hearing me. If Sheilah, your daughter, Sheilah, your daughter is at school. Sheilah, she does not exist. Sheilah, either you believe it, and I want you not to believe it. Either you believe it or not, she does not exist. Anytime you bring her to your reality, but all is in the consciousness. She is in the consciousness, and you are connected with her energetically. Sheilah, you are not hearing my voice. You are just reading frequencies. People, nothing is happening outside. Nothing. When you are told, the reason why you are told things of the carnal, Apostle Paul said this, things of the carnal are not subjected to the law. It's because nothing exists outside. Nothing. People. Apostle Paul said, things of the carnal, of the physicality, of the material are not subjected to the law, because nothing exists outside of you. People, you are experiencing your own body sensory parts. Period. You are much grander than you have been taught. People, you are not walking anywhere. You are not seated with a mobile phone anywhere. You are experiencing frequencies out of the projections and creating a hologram while you are just somewhere and creating this universe plus all the planets. And guess what? Guess what? This galaxy has got 260 billion planets. That is the perception of ours right now here. But tomorrow, if they proclaim in your reality, if they proclaimed that, wow, we found 1,000,000 billions of planets in our galaxy, guess what happens? Guess what happens? It becomes that, people, half of the truth of what human is has never been told. It becomes that, people. If they just feed an information to this collective, that our solar system now, it doesn't have 9 planets, but it has 2 million planets in one solar system. Guess what? When the next day the astronomers will see, they will discover new planets into existence. People, you are not what you have been told you are. People, no one exists apart from yourself. And when you ask me, why am I experiencing Saleem? You brought them into your reality. You created that reality. You are not experiencing anything outside of you. People, there's no Saleem outside of you. People, you brought me into your reality to experience Saleem. And I brought you into my... It is like a game, people, I tell you. Like we are pushing and mixing the cards, different realities coming together. Now I want to experience spiritual awakening. I want to find someone, and this someone I'm going to find him very soon. Then you get connected to Saleem. Then you say, wow, it was a miracle. I knew I was going to find. People, you create everything. You created that. There is no miracle in this universe. There's no miracles, people. There's no miracles. Everything is present. In this moment, this right present moment, every template of the infinite possibilities is present. I just wish people will just awaken and know the grander truth of what humanity is. Because let me tell you one thing. People are asleep. People are asleep, even those in spirituality. They're having stupid and foolish perception. Separation. They are told it's all about oneness, but it's all black people, the black race, black this and black that. Separation. We are the chosen ones. Separation. People are asleep. Let me tell you. People are asleep. Sometimes I will just wake up in the middle of my meditation and I will, like, I don't know what am I going to do. like, what is wrong? I'm just in meditation, I just sit up and just ask myself, what is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong? People are learned. People have PhDs. Nowadays, everyone is having a degree. But what is this foolishness? You see? Because we are just having some limited perception of what God is. Where you lock God is where God stays, people. What you dump dumps you back. When you dump God, God is infinite, my friend. When you dump God, God dumps you back. Where you lock him, he stays there. You experience that God of children of Israel. Whoever perceives the God of fear experiences the God of fear. This one you should know. Whoever walks in fear of God has a fearful God. This one I'm telling you for free. When you walk with the perception with the fear of God, then know that you have a fearful God, scary God, angry, furious. That one, be sure of that, because you have damned God. Be sure of that. To experience that fearful God, furious, scary, of wrath, be sure. What you dumps you back. What you pull or push down into the hole of darkness pulls you together with it there, so that you can experience that. When you walk with the perception of God, the boundless God, that infinite, ever expanding, ever knowing. If it is ever expanding, it means it is expanding to the infinite. Ever knowing, without final description. And therefore, because when you walk with the knowing that the God, which is my God, is ever expanding, ever knowing, meaning that he doesn't have a final description and definition, is infinite. Therefore, everything within him also does not have final definition. Anything in my reality does not have any final definition, because everything is in a process of expansion. If it is negative, I know it is not that, because I don't want to give that identity. I'm not giving it that identity, because nothing to me, I am infinite, ever expanding. Nothing to me attracts a final definition or identity. To me, everything is in the state of evolution, ever expanding. Today, it is a refrigerator. Tomorrow is a chicken house. Yet another day, it's a scrap metal. And yet, the other day, that scrap metal became a plate. It became a car. It became something else. Maybe it rotted. It became elements. Back to earth and again into plants to become something else, ever expanding through all experiences. What you dump, people, what you dumps you back. When you dump the Christ within you, let me tell you, it dumps you back. The much you give to it, the much it gives you back, well shaken in double portion. When you are walking with the infinite perception, then you become of the infinite possibilities and probabilities that anything and everything changes. You are walking, that is a godly walk, when you know that anything and everything changes. And when there is anything coming in front of you, this is negative situation coming, you just proclaim, behold, I make things new. The I. When you walk with an understanding and the knowing, with the understanding and the knowing, and this is what understanding is. This is what understanding is. Last time I said understanding. When you stand, what becomes under you is your feet. Understanding, your feet. And this is why Jesus took his disciples and washed their feet. Renewal of the mind. Every moment you renew your mind. That is what salvation is. That is what to be born again is. Every moment you are renewing your mind to the good, to the positive, to the highest things, to the infinite. Your physical mind, you bring it in tune to who you really are. It's not judging this, but it is just your own physical mind which is judging things. You bring it under control and you are walking with the understanding. The feet, those which were washed, the understanding and the knowing. And becomes that you're walking. When Jesus said, I and the Father are one, people took this statement lightly, but it is very heavy because it is what I have just told you. You can confirm it with spirit.
Saleem,
Yes.
bro,
Yeah.
sometimes you sound scary, but now acha Sheilah aongee kidogo.
Okay. Sheilah.
Malilala.
No, I really have nothing to say. It's been 4 hours of blasting my spirit. I need to get off this plane and get down to ground zero. So, I appreciate the sharing. Tomorrow I have an early morning. And I am thankful.
Yes.
Just
Let us give our
there on this flight, guys.
let us give our brother
Expansion, you know. And as we hear, our mind expands, our thinking expands, and we morph into something else. We become, transcendent with just certain knowledge. And that's what transformation is all about. So I am thankful.
Yeah. Yes, our brother, brother Bishop, my brother. Let's listen to you and then we do a short meditation, then we call it a blessed.
Basically, it was a very wonderful experience, and I think everything is summarized in the question that I asked, and so Sheilah asked, is summarized in this. That there's no procedure outside being in that place of knowing. Just be still. Just know. Just be in the place of being. I think that's just the key to everything. I think just need to practice it, and it becomes a reality to us. So I say thank you very much. Thank you, my brother. I've not gotten your name yet, but I'll definitely get your name. Thank you, Dr. Sheilah, and thank you, Apostle, for this wonderful expose. So something else. Thank you.
Yes, right now, people, let me tell you one thing. I want you to get in a relaxed position because people will have to experience this, and we have to experience the goodness of God. We are here. Everyone get into a position. Everyone get into a position, relaxed position, and let us experience. I just want I just want us to experience that oneness, the nothingness, that the connection with the all. The connection with the all. This is what I want us to experience. Just experiencing of who we are.